Steve, do you know how much the reimbursement is for the energy that the houses or whatever the company is? How much we're forcing LIPA to pay a charge for that electricity, right?
There is always a charge when you are investing into a newer technology.
Okay, and do you know how much we're paying per kilowatt?
I have no specific number at the tip of my tongue. If you have that, I'd love
the
for you
number
to
I
share
keep
it.
hearing is when we're buying solar energy, it's 22 cents per kilowatt.
I've heard you say that, yes.
And we pay, right now, 9 cents per kilowatt from NIPA. Why would we pay more than 9 cents?
Well, we've entered into, in the investment into solar, there is, as we just heard, an upfront investment. That upfront investment pays off over the long term and will overtake the costs.
Well,
and will provide many benefits: health benefits, job benefits, system benefits, and reliability benefits.
okay, now in our area, take the courts, for instance.
Okay?
Okay, we have above the parking lot, they installed all these new solar panels. And the company that comes in there, I believe they're a New Jersey company, they come in, they install the solar panels, and basically they pay rent. They pay rent for the solar panels to the Suffolk County. But now by the time, and I think Suffolk made the deal with them that after 10 years, I believe it is, correct me if I'm wrong, then Suffolk County gets the solar panels. But
I'm not sure it's 10 years, but it's at some interval of time that is in that neighborhood, yes.
But by that time, it's outdated.
Well, I'm not sure that it's outdated. At that time, it has paid for itself in all likelihood and will generate savings that are really quite substantial going forward beyond that time. The equipment, if it's well made and well installed, really has great longevity. So I don't think it wears out like my Buick, in 10 years.
Okay. Now, the other thing is when we're paying for that electricity, I believe that LIPA pays around $11.4 million. That was the figure. Now we're going to increase. Are we increasing that amount that LIPA is going to be paying out?
We're hoping that the LIPA commitment, which is presently authorized at $38 million a year, will continue within the context of the reorganization that is in the offing.
Okay. So, and that's going to be directly charged to the other. Now, there's also the people that put the solar panels on their house. They get this credit also. And now the ratepayers, this is all paid for by the ratepayers. So the ratepayers are all subsidizing this, correct?
It is ultimately a ratepayer-based initiative, sure.
So at a time when the governor is tinkering with LIPA, and in my opinion it's going to cost us more, his restructuring, we're going to even put more money on top of that for these solar programs. So if they're paying 11.4 right now, and we're going to 38 million, that's quite a big difference. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I'm sorry, Al.
If we're paying 11.4 million now, hey guys, can we quiet down back there, please? If we're paying 11.4 million right now, and we're going to go up to 38 million, that's a substantial increase.
It is my understanding that it is budgeted for. I can't confirm 11.4 at this moment, but if you have information in that regard, I can only add to it and say that the overall plan has been budgeted for and has been accounted for. So there's no new charges. I think this is an important part here. No new charges in the offing, and certainly nothing authorized for new charges to the rate base in this piece of legislation.
Okay. And we're pretty fortunate. We have Brookhaven Labs by us that's doing a lot of great things. and Stony Brook University that's doing a lot of great things. And one of the big things they're doing is they're working on the batteries. You and I have talked about that before.
We have.
So right now, if you have solar panels on your house, and during the nighttime you go off the solar, you go back on the grid, but there could come a time where, because the batteries right now are the size of a tractor trailer, as where they're working on trying to get them down to the size of a outdoor air conditioning unit. Yeah. Would you agree that that would be a great investment? That's a game changer for us.
That would be a game changer, as you rightly say, and it is my hope and indeed my expectation that the research taking place at the State University of Stony Brook in the engineering department and the research taking place at the Brookhaven National Laboratory, much of that is collaborative, by the way, will, on the scale of a decade or thereabouts, generate more efficient, compact batteries, and the installation and investment being made into rooftop solar arrays will enable that electrical energy to go into those batteries for storage and release during nighttime and cloudy days. And that will increase the efficiency of the system again. Indeed, in that this is a year-by-year investment that we're authorizing, if those inventions that are in the offing now come available, say 5 years from now, we don't have to wait the full 10 years, and this could be a benefit to us even in the short term.
Well, and wouldn't you agree that in our conversations with Stony Brook and the conversations with Brookhaven, this is a race that's going on now?
It is indeed.
And whatever state can actually do this is, I mean, economically, it's just going to be a big boom for that state.
It is, and further to that, you mentioned the installation of
Mr. Morelli, why do you rise?
Yes, I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker. I apologize to the two gentlemen, but since the hour is late, I need to call Ways and Means. Mr. Farrell is waiting in the Speaker's conference room, like members of Ways and Means, and then if we could go back to this discussion.
I'll try to summarize
Mr. Morelli. Ways and Means, Speaker's conference room.
Thank you, Joe. I thought you were going to ask me what my point was.
I'm going to summarize and just simply say that you had mentioned at the top of our colloquy that it was a New Jersey company that had done the installation. If we're able to get this bill passed, I anticipate the next installations will be New York companies.
Right. Now, all of this has led to this moment, okay? Here's my big question. Wouldn't we be better off? Wouldn't it be a better investment if we know that the batteries are the big things and we know that the dividends that the batteries and everything else is going to pay for our state? Wouldn't it be better to take a chunk of this money right here that we have budgeted and actually divert that to work with Stony Brook University and work with Brookhaven Labs to actually make sure that we're the first ones to get these batteries and change our economy? Would you agree that some of this money should be diverted to that program?
Some of that money may indeed be able to be diverted to that program within the flexibility that's in this legislation that is not precluded. And let me also point out that the battery is only part of the process. You've got to gather the energy. That's what the solar arrays are about. Both of these can lead to manufacturing jobs and installation jobs. And your question, I think, is very insightful. Please believe me, the flexibility for investing into both the gathering of energy and the storage and release of energy is all accounted for, and that flexibility is in the language of the bill.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you.